with us or for joining us now live for Round 5 coverage, the win and in round here at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia, our weekly Friday Night Magic tournament. After 4 rounds of Swiss here on this standard event, we're down to Round 5. Both of these players are 3-1, and after doing some quick tiebreaker math, they realized they do have to play. One of them, if all the 3-1 players drew, one of them would get knocked out potentially by one player that has 2 draws. Our very own Dr. Matt. So,
I have a feeling Brandon's going to win.
It is an all-Brandon matchup, as I'm joined by Yin Sang, and he is pointing out that both of these gentlemen are in fact named Brandon, and someone has kicked our... This feels like the camera is off centered, but I'm not going to go out there and change it. Do you know what Brandon Gibbs is playing?
I do not. I can go ahead and ask for it.
That's all right. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out with you.
He's put blue-white aggro because that's all it is.
Well, that's what he usually plays.
Yeah.
That was a grueling slog.
Do you know what Brandon Gibbs is playing?
He's playing...
Is it blue-white aggro?
He's playing blue-white humans.
Okay.
Guys. And
So
Feeling of Dread to very good effect.
Yeah. He's been playing that for a long time.
Yeah. I've seen it for like a month or two.
But more, yeah, he doesn't play all the time, but when he does, he doesn't play all the time, but when he does, it's blue-white human.
Yes.
But for the rest of you, if you haven't played Brandon or seen what he's playing tonight, he's playing a very interesting rug deck that utilizes Master Biomancer.
Yes.
As we see Rock Lobster take out Scissors Lizard in our usual rock, paper, scissors game. If you want to win your own playset of those cards, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic.
And they could have both drawn it.
They could have. I don't know what I didn't see the tiebreakers. I was pointing out one of them will not. If all the 9s drew in, one of them potentially would get screwed because Matt Elliott is on 8.
They're the 3rd and 4th seeds right now.
Well, the 7-7 has to play, and I think both of their tiebreakers are good enough that they'll kill someone that's at 10. Because I saw, like, both of their tiebreakers are at, like, 60-something%, and there are, like, 9s that are at 50-something.
Is it Aggro or mid-range? I think it's kind of mid-range. We'll put mid-range.
Yeah, it's mid-range. There's Thragtusk, Biomancer's 4-drop.
Yeah, Thundermaw.
Yeah.
So somebody's thinking about their keep. And Brandon, they both do it. It's the universal signal of mulliganing, of course, drawing your next 4 cards to see if you would have gotten there. It's the worst thing you could ever do to yourself.
Yeah. I saw Jonathan with a 1 land hand earlier.
Yeah, and you're getting some props for your coat.
Oh, sweet.
All right, so yeah, all Brandon finals here. There was some, like you said, there was some deliberation about who could draw and whatnot. With this number of people in 5 rounds, you can't comfortably draw in with 3. That's the way it's designed. Like, you're not supposed to be able to. You guys at 4-0 are supposed to be able to draw in it, and everybody else is supposed to theoretically play.
I think if you're at 9 and you and your opponent are both at like 70% opponent win game.
Yes.
Basically, they would have gone to 10 with a draw, and in order for one of them to get knocked out, they would have to have 5 people leapfrog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends entirely on the tiebreakers.
Yeah, I just had this list.
There's just no way that 5 other people can end up with a 10 or higher match.
Yeah, when they asked me about it, I didn't have access to tiebreakers, so I told them what I knew, which is that if they all drew, and then Matt won, somebody drew themselves right out of this thing.
Yeah, and Jonathan versus Max.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one, but you're right. There is 2 players on 7.
Because basically for them, it won't even go to tie breaks because 5 people can't leapfrog a 10-point total.
Sure.
But it wasn't my job to go pester them with that.
Well, to be fair, like, we don't usually, it's only since we've moved to 5 rounds and JB started doing table numbers and stuff, like, basically for the benefit of the stream to try and make it a little bit more easy to pick matches and stuff. We don't usually post the standings, you know what I mean? It's usually just to play it, and because it's getting a little deep if people are looking to, like, chop or like to draw in, like, at this point. It should just be like you. Scott just win them all, and then you don't have to worry about it. Oh, good lord. It was you and Payne that were 4-0?
Yeah.
So 2 mono red decks, that's
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah. And we're playing, I think, very close to the same list.
Oh, he's playing whatever one that starts at the event that 1 week. Payne just recently, he's a big Warhammer guy. He recently just got back into Magic. By trading Warhammer miniatures for Magic cards, then selling those Magic cards to me, and then buying his deck.
Whoa.
Do what you gotta do, right?
How do you play Magic?
Oh, well, they're learning how to play Magic over there, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And tell me in 40 characters or less.
Yeah. So we see at turn 1 Arbor Elf, and then a turn 2 Farseek from Brandon, but did he not play a second land on his turn? Did I see that correctly?
Ooh.
I mean, he did mold a 6 on the play with the Arbor Elf, but
Yeah.
thank goodness that Elf lived, or otherwise he'd be...
I think he knows that Brandon doesn't have any way to do
Sure,
the elf.
sure.
Since Brandon always plays blue-white, you would have to attack with the Arbor Elf to get it removed.
So, you know how when, like, Brandon activated his Arbor Elf there, he physically untapped the land, then tapped it again?
Yeah.
Lots of people do that. Do you do that? I just tap the dude, and I figure the untapping is
I
assumed.
do it
It's
because
a-
you have
it's a-
to do it on Modo, so that's just I'm
Yeah.
used to doing it.
I mean, it's a legal shortcut. If, like,
Assuming you actually have...
rules-wise, it's a legal shortcut to just point. I mean,
Well,
your opponent-
theoretically, they could have some response to the activation.
Right.
Can't really think
Why
of
is he
anything
discarding so
standard
many
that would do it
cards?
right now,
Oh, I think he forgot to discard a previous turn. That's why he had to discard 2. So for those of you unfamiliar with the Rug deck, I think it made a splash at one of the Star City events the week after release. But basically it just plays all the good Rug cards, but it has a very interesting interaction with Master Biomancer where, you know, it makes your Huntmaster an 8-power dude, you know. Thundermaul's a 7/7 haste.
yeah.
And Brandon is getting daggered for his mismatched planes in the chat.
Which Brandon? Oh, the one that's...
The one that plays planes.
Yeah, the one with the planes.
Well, see, he's got 2 John Avon full art Zendikars, but he also has one, I don't know who that one is. I think it means, like, I don't know if that's the Veronique. I think it's the Young Park.
I don't know.
There's only one Plains that's any good at all, and it's the John Avon one. And it's a yellow. Doesn't make any
I
sense.
didn't like any of the planes.
Are you one of the Cup Island crew?
I hate the Cup Island.
Okay,
Cup
thank
Island.
you. That thing is so bad.
I think
I love those. I love Zendikar full art lands. We see yet another Huntmaster from Brandon. I love the full art lands more than anyone else in the world, but I hate the Cup Island.
Yeah, I really don't like the Cup Island.
I think you have to level people and play the non-full arts in the car lands.
Just the same art, but just with a text with a mana box.
So what's Brandon Gibbs do at this point?
Nothing. I don't. He can like.
2 Huntmasters.
He can attempt to like out tempo with like very effective feeling of dread. You know what I mean? But he has to like have all of them. But like, I don't think there's any way. Like he can theoretically like get him with like a Geist, like when he like alpha commits or something. Someone in the chat is questioning or is threatening my my love of them,
Affinity for green's getting kind of peppery in there, man.
saying that they love them more than I do. Well, that's just, I mean, I appreciate your stance, but it's just wrong. I mean, clearly I love them the most. And now we see the very awkward post-combat Night of Glory.
Oh.
Now, I will say this, like, it's not always guaranteed you want to play it before combat. There are circumstances where you want to leave mana up for something.
True.
So I don't know what's going on.
And I'm sure he wants to play a spell every turn right now. Like, even if he doesn't need to.
Right. Is this an upkeep or something?
It's a tapping phase.
It has to be, like, upkeep. Yeah.
That's
If he's tapping the Arbor Elf, it has to be upkeep, because, like, there's no point in tapping the Arbor Elf.
Oh, yes. Around 5 lands.
Untapped
Thrag
land, Thragtusk. I know that I complain about cards a lot, but like what what magic does this rug deck actually play? It just plays all these. It just like what do you do? You just play these dudes.
Yeah, I think this rug mid-range thing is just a bunch of
All these mid-range,
guys.
like all these mid-range decks are the same thing. It's just like I have all the best cards in 3 colors, and I just jam them in together.
And it's a lot harder to fight that than a more linear strategy because, I mean, how are you supposed to just sideboard against good cards? You know, every one is like 3 or 4 colors with just all the good cards.
Question in the chat as to whether or not the chat is observed by the commentators. I'm confirming right now that it is, in fact.
See, the proper answer to that would have been no. No, the chat is not
No.
observed.
The Wizards has printed so many like overtly powerful creatures, and the mana bases of Return to Ravnica in combination with the other dual lands from Innistrad. Like, every deck is a good stuff deck. Every deck is a mid-range deck.
Now we just need Reflecting Pool and Dragon's Maze.
There's the mono red deck that Scott is playing, and then there's like the 1 or 2, like maybe the 3 control decks: Esper,
Esper
Bant, and then like there's kind of like an American like control deck, or you could chop it between American and Jund, like a high range
I think
Jund.
American's more mid-range.
Everything else is mid range. Like every other deck in the format is mid range.
Yeah. City of Brass.
City of Brass always looks so good.
5 colors, good stuff.
Do you know how good Burn would be if people are playing Shocklands and City of Brass?
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon's going to try here. He's got a Silverblade Paladin. He pairs it with his Angel. He's successfully keeping those Huntmasters from flipping. Is he going to flashback Feeling of Dread?
He has to.
He is. You tap the Arbor Elf and the Thragtusk. He wants to keep him off 6 mana. Does this deck play Mizium Mortars? Is that why he's trying to keep him off 6 mana?
Well, I didn't see one, but I only
And if it-
watched
and
like
if it-
half of the
He
game.
might have bonfires.
If it is, and like Brandon's like playing around Mizium Mortars, like that's a very like it's a very like in tune like play. Like yeah, he might just try to keep him off. I mean I don't know. I guess he can't profitably attack with any of his dudes anyway, because he's gonna. I mean another Silverblade Paladin, he just loses to the Crackback, right?
He might actually be going for the... I don't know what the bonding situation is, but he might be going for Geist.
Wait, they don't flip. He casted Feeling of Dread.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Yeah, tell him.
Brandon.
Makes quite a bit of difference. I mean, I still don't think Brandon can attack, but I don't know what the last card in his hand is. But
Well, that resto
Huntmasters
win him the game if.
well, yeah, if he. But I mean, at some point, like Brandon's going to run out of Feeling of Dread effects. He's already flashed the one back. Is this another Silverblade?
What is that?
No, that is Leaf Sky Knight, 3/1 flyer that detains a
I love
creature.
that thing.
It's just very good.
Yeah,
He's been playing it for a while.
Yeah.
That thing is so insane and limited.
He's going to attack him with another double striking Resto Angel, dropping Brandon to 8. Nope, down to 6. Because of Exalted. Sky Knight in play. Brandon with 3 mana up and 1 card in his hand. Brandon Gibbs, I should say. I can't keep saying Brandon because that's the thing we get. But Brandon Gibbs has done a good job of... he has kept those Huntmasters
Yeah,
from
he's
flipping.
managed them very well.
And he's very fortunate.
Other than forgetting that the one shouldn't have flipped.
But it's very fortunate to have one of the, I think, 2 Feeling of Dreads he has in his deck. Like, without the Feeling of Dread, this game is not competitive.
Right.
Because he would just flip, murder, which he's still going to do here, right?
Does Brandon play bonfires?
Yes. Thragtusk. That'll buy us some time. Yeah, well, no, it won't, because he can... Well, I don't know. Another elf. I would not have played the elf because then I can potentially flip my Huntmasters back the following turn with two in.
Right. I don't know. It's the flying things that are really bad.
End of turn Angel, bouncing Leo Sky Knight,
Yeah.
tapping a Thragtusk. Well, it doesn't tap it, it detains it. Doesn't detain tap it? Or does
No,
it,
Detain doesn't tap.
it
but-
says it doesn't untap, right?
No, it says that you can't block, attack, or use activated
Right.
abilities.
Ah, that's it. Got there. Took me a
So
while.
2 Resto Angels and a Sky Knight. Brandon Hart doesn't have any cards in his hand.
Yeah.
And no flyers.
Yeah, but he's 11.
Yeah, but
that'll do.
one of the Resto Angels is bonded with Silver Blade.
Yes.
So that's 6, 9, 12.
Yes, that's enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Once Brandon cast his second Huntmaster of the Fells, I thought there's surely no way
know.
Brandon Gibbs can win this game. But in fact, I did say, well, he's got to get very good with his feeling of dread, and then we all had a good chuckle. And then he actually did that. So a question in the chat about what the records is. Both of these players are 3-1, so the winner will be making top 8. The loser will have to wait and see how everything sorts out with tiebreakers. So Brandon Gibbs and blue-white aggro going up a game on the rug deck. I would think that in the sideboarded games, not having access to the lists at all, I would think all Brandon is bringing in is just more removal.
Yeah.
He
didn't have any removal that game. And
well, he plays bonfires. He just didn't draw them.
well, right. But
So I'm sure if he had the 4th bonfire in the sideboard, it's now in the main deck. If he had any copies of Visium Mortars there and there, what is that he's bringing in?
I would definitely bring him Museum Mortars if
Yeah.
he has them. It's the only thing he has to kill the angel.
I think he can't see what he's bringing in. It looks like a counterflux, and if it's a counterflux, I have no idea.
You're like leaning to the left to try and
I
look.
do it all the time.
Staticaster
Yeah.
looks a lot like Counterflux.
Oh, it is Staticaster. That's exactly what
Oh.
it is, and that's the best thing you could possibly bring in. Of course, is it Staticaster is going to deal 1 damage to target creature, and every creature that has the same name as it. Now we're getting super choppy video, so that's always good. Question in the chat about why we do a top 8 for FNM. Why don't we do a top 8 for FNM? Because the players wanted it. There's no change in the
Plus, we
payout or
also
anything.
have we've got like
Yeah.
over 32 players these days.
We're full.
I see that.
Sorry. How'd you do tonight?
Come sit on my lap.
Not good?
T3.
Get him next week.
Yeah.
And the commenter in the chat is saying that their store gets 50 plus people every week and they don't do top 8. Well, that's perfectly fine. Like,
Thank you for sharing.
I don't really know what you want me to do. I mean, trust me, there's nothing about our FNM which is affecting the competitive Planeswalker points
No,
situation.
I think that was us. I think it was entirely us.
It's obviously.
People are very...
Totally us.
No, but here's what I'll give people, since we have time here while these guys are sideboarding, I'll give you a brief history of the store. So at our old location, 2 years ago, we've been in this location for 2 years. The old location, we didn't really have that many people for FNM, so we used to always just do 4 rounds, no top 8, you award prizes based on standings and tiebreakers.
Okay.
And that was fine because for the number of people we had, there was always 1-4-0. They would win, and everybody else would get some packs, and you would hand out promos and be fine. The store got a little bit more popular. We started getting more people. Then we started having like 3 people for 4-0, and then one person would get 3 people who were 3-0, and then one person would go 4-0, and they would get screwed. And after a while, that started to get annoying. People ask if we could start doing a top 8, so that way you could control your own destiny, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so we started doing 3 rounds and a cut to top 8. And then we got more people, so 4 rounds and cut to top 8. And then we've moved to this store, and we've started getting even more people, so now we do 5 rounds and a cut to top 8. Most of the time people chop the top 4, if not before that. But, you know, the reason we do the top 8 is so people can actually control their own destinies rather than, you know...
Well, top 8 makes sense once you're hitting over 30 people.
Yeah.
I think top 4 makes sense up to about 20-something, 32 maybe.
Well, people hate the feeling, too, of going 4-0 and not winning.
I was never on the outside looking in of the guy that went, because when you go when you go with the guy who's 4-0 and then the other guy's 4-0 and you get the first place prize, like, you don't really care because you're not affected. But if you're the other guy, it sucks. Like, what are you supposed to do? You literally won every game you're supposed to, and, like, you get punished. And that's just the way it is. Like, you have to decide, like, you have to take into consideration the number of players, you have to consideration of what the players want, consider, like, how late the store is open and how much you want to run, Because JB, who runs the store here, he's been very generous with willing to stay. Adding these extra rounds and stuff just means he's here longer. And he's here infinitely more during the week than he should be in any one given work week, you know what I mean? So he's just adding more to his night. He's going to be here in the morning, open the store up at 10, so,
yeah.
We appreciate them doing that. I don't know why we got...
Nobody wants to be Boise State, Nobody wants to go undefeated and not make it in.
Yeah, and as some people are pointing out in the chat, we are very fortunate, as we've mentioned multiple times in the past, that we have a store that can generate enough people to have 5 rounds and a cut to the top 8. I'm not kidding you. The first time I ever played in a tournament at Lost Legion was in 2010, the day after Thanksgiving, and there were like 10 people.
I think the first time I played
maybe 12.
16.
Yeah.
And that was over when it was in the more posh neighborhood.
And people have asked in the past, what? Are we broadcasting game day? Question about whether we're broadcasting game day. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to Charlotte. I don't want to go down Friday night, and
We're not playing in the main event.
But I just want to go to Cell. It's a long trip for like a Saturday and stuff. Plus I'm going to be gone this week. Are these guys mulling to oblivion? Like, I don't know. I've been talking a lot about top 8s and not paying attention. But to be fair, they haven't played any Magic in that whole time, so we haven't missed anything.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Charlotte, but we're moving next weekend. So
I saw that. I saw your girlfriend's name Shannon, right?
Yeah.
Saw her post about you're moving to like a townhouse or something.
Yeah, out in Cross Lanes, which I pick my battles, whatever.
There's lots of worse places to live than Cross Lanes.
I kind of wish next weekend was the 3-day weekend for me, and not this weekend.
Yeah.
Because GP Charlotte, if I just...
Is there a holiday on Monday?
What?
Is there a holiday on Monday? What is it?
President's Day.
Oh. Federal employee.
State employee.
Yes.
Yeah, state gets it too.
You just work for the gas company, you gotta go to work, son.
I gotta work on Monday.
Of course, I did take off today. I took off today because Matt was in town. We used to play a lot of disc golf, like frisbee golf.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to take the day off because yesterday was gorgeous. And I was like, well, I'll take the day off tomorrow. We'll go play disc golf and we'll go play Magic. Woke up this morning, it was snowing. And I was like, well, guess not.
Yeah.
Question from Kyle George in the chat. Are we going to be at Cincinnati tomorrow? We are, in fact, going to be there. Myself, Yin, Garrett, Max, Adam Vickers, Dr. Matt. Rolling 6 deep.
Is that Dr. Matt?
Max isn't going?
Max Turner's going.
No reason that you have to drive.
Yeah. But I don't mind. Like, I don't want to be like, no, you can't go because I don't want to be inconvenienced to. All right, so we're playing Magic again. Mulling to 5, I think, for Brandon Gibbs. Tap lands for everyone. That's pretty good. Although, actually, most of the things in Brandon Hart's deck are creatures. I'm just always assuming that turn 2 Thalia is great.
Yeah.
Which is almost...
It's generally a good assumption. I mean,
yeah.
even
it's got first strike.
It's 2-1 first strike.
It's a fine bear. But, though it does slow Brandon down slightly.
Makes that bonfire a lot harder to
Wait, what did he just play?
He played
a
Farseek.
Yeah, I mean, I assume it's a Farseek. But he didn't have that turn 2 anyways because he played the Stomping Ground tap.
Yes.
So...
He just drew the Farseek.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have slowed him down, I don't think.
As someone who plays
Introduce himself.
As someone who plays combo and legacy, turn 2 Thalia is something I force a will it a lot.
I would too.
Yeah, I was talking to Kyle. Kyle's another guy I've been talking with. I believe his name's Kyle. We're going to meet up in Cincinnati when we're there. There's a couple of people I'm going to meet that I've met through the stream.
Cool.
And this happened in Columbus too, like 3 separate times where I'm just walking around and someone comes up and says, "Hey Zach, how's it going?" Because everyone knows what I look like. And
Yeah.
to be fair, like I'm pretty recognizable in a crowd at this point with the beard. But like it's just very unsettling to be like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
Would you sign my well-thumbed copy of Catcher in the Rye?
So the bonfire was not a miracle, right? It's just for one naturally with the Thalia tax.
Yeah.
And D's Nuts 79, it's apparently very important to let you know that his or her beard is growing.
Well,
Yes, or her.
well, D's Nuts is an old chat regular there, and had a beard for a period of time, but then shaved it off.
Oh no.
But it's coming back apparently, so it's good to hear on the progress. Feel free to post pictures on our website, on our Facebook. Huntmaster of the Fells, of course in German that is Jägermeister.
Of der Fellows.
I wanted it to be Jägermeister because I have a friend that lives in Germany and I wanted him to send me one. He's like, it doesn't say Jägermeister, and I said, well, I don't want it. If a foiled German, if a Huntmaster translated in German really was Jägermeister, a foiled German Huntmaster would be worth so much money.
What about a foil French delay?
Yeah, that's like $25.
Yeah,
For no good reason.
Which of course translates to an American slang derogatory term for those with learning disability. But it's the exact same way. It's like back when I used to play in college, foil, the card foil, the counterspell.
Yeah.
A foil was worth like $25 too.
Because that's like Inception.
Just like, no, yeah, it's a novelty.
It's like Exhibit.
So we see Leo of Sky come down, detaining, what, the wolf token?
I think you detain Huntmaster.
I would detain the wolf, that way he can attack with the Huntmaster if he wants to. Because I would gladly trade my dude.
I don't know if you did, I just kind of saw him point at the Huntmaster at all.
Thundermare Herokite going to kill Leo Sky Knight.
Yeah.
Thundermaw Hellkite, and of course this is, I preface this with, this is no slight to Brandon Hart. Thundermaw Hellkite, the least skill-intensive card to play in Magic currently.
Yeah, it's the Ravager of the current format. It's just like the Fairy Godmother.
Play Skull Clamp, equipped to creature.
Yeah. Well, I did slam down an ultimate price on a Thunderball.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
There's
like
no
I say,
better feeling than Traitorous Blooding a
I talk
Thundermaw Hellkite.
yes, that's very good too. I feel bad. I preface when I say all that stuff. Like the cards are there, you have to play them. Like they're good. You have to play Thragtusk, you have to play Bonfire, you have to play Thundermaw. Because if you're not, your opponent will. That being said, I still will whinge about it on my silly little broadcast from the Broom Closet. You buy the equipment, you set up the Twitch channel, you get permission from your local game store. You too can complain about Thundermaw Hellkite
And Thragtusk.
to 100 people on the internet. Flipping his Ravager, or Huntmaster, into his Ravager, dealing 2 damage to the Restoration Angel, which is relevant because now he can't block a wolf with it profitably. Another one. Jeez.
Okay.
Magic is hard. Magic is hard. Sometimes Magic is a long, drawn-out psychological battle between you and your opponent as you both figure out the best way of maximizing your minimal resources
And
in
playing
order
a
to...
second Thunderball is a pretty good way to do that.
And sometimes you have 2 Thundermaw Hellkites.
Well, I was
Having them
hoping
in
to see
your
him
deck is
Brandon
a
Hart
skill.
lose.
Oh.
Because I have to leave. But
Oh.
I wanted to see him lose first.
You want to see...
But now I don't know who's going to win or lose.
Now you leave, you won't know.
I
I'll
know.
text you here one. So you wake up in the
You
morning.
have my number.
First thing you wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I'm so tired. I gotta check to see who won the Brandon Mirror match.
I'll still be up for the next while.
Gosh, I wish I was asleep. I think we're gonna try to leave the house at like...
I took a nap earlier,
6?
so plus I get like 3.5 hours of sleep in the car. Unfortunately for you.
Who's driving y'all's car, Zach?
Garrett. Zach actually has to drive, which actually really sucks. But I will see you guys.
We'll see you tomorrow in Cincinnati.
Good luck, Yen.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yin is our resident ringer.
Yeah, he's a ringer.
Top 16 at the last one he went. Not only top 16, but I think this, I've mentioned it before, but I think it bears repeating. Yin lost his round 9 matchup in the largest Star City event ever played. There was like 700 people there. It was bigger than the Grand Prix in Denver that week. On camera, to a pro, to Ben Weinberg. So like,
He's a type player, man.
He played.
Didn't he just win a trial too?
Yeah.
So
But
that,
that
was that
trial,
for Charlotte?
that trial had 8 people in it, so let's not.
Finding the trial with 8 people is a skill in and of itself. I'm trying to
No,
decide,
he got second in that one.
trying to decide
Vickers,
who I don't want to play out of these two.
you
I really don't
have
want
a better matchup against the Thalia deck.
Yeah, I feel like I've got a better matchup against
And
the
you potentially can get blown out by the all life gain
Yeah.
haste deck.
Yeah, I can bring in flames against the humans, and that seems pretty strong.
You have to be very quick.
And I'm playing 2 more burn spells than most of the red lists play.
What other burn spells are those?
I'm playing the full boat of volleys, spears, and pillar of flames, and no Thundermaw Hellcats.
Okay, so you're low end.
Yes.
Did you cut a land as a result?
I'm running 22 lands, which weirdly is what the people running Hellkites tend to run, and it
Yeah,
just
this
seems a little greedy.
it's very greedy. I don't understand why you would not play 4 brimstone volleys. Like, the reach is so important in this format.
They come out a lot 1-for-1 for the flames and the firebrand,
That's fine.
but a lot of times it makes it where there are no good blocks for them.
So we move to game 3 here between the Rug Midrange deck of Brandon Hart.
Good night, gentlemen.
Yeah.
You taking off?
Yeah, I didn't make it, so I'm going to take a nap.
All right, we'll see you in the morning.
See you later.
Good luck,
Bye.
Dave.
So as I said, we're tied at 1 game apiece here between the Rug deck of Brandon Hart and the blue-white aggro deck of Gibbs. Of course, Gibbs is going to be on the play here. Maybe he can start off with a saucy turn 1 War Falcon into turn 2 Thalia. War Falcon looks...
Or turn 1 War Falcon into Champion.
I don't know if he plays champions.
Oh, I'm sure he does too. He's got to.
Well, a lot of his creatures aren't humans.
What, War Falcons?
Sky Knights.
Sky Knight's a human?
War Falcon?
No, you're saying you didn't think he played Champions.
Oh, the detained guy's a human?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the guy riding that giant bird, not the bird.
Yeah. But I think War Falcons and Geists. Well, and Angels. There's 12, so maybe you're right.
I think the only 1-drop he has is War Falcon. I think he only
I know
plays
he's
like
playing
3
Elite Inquisitors too. I'm 90% sure he is.
I would play probably Dryad Militant. Why not? The 2-power dude.
Probably doesn't want to lose his feeling of dreads.
Good point. That's exactly why you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, the feeling of dreads are really good. I actually last season was playing 2 Nightbirds clutches in the sideboard of my red deck.
Just for that falter effect?
Yeah, it's like the ghetto feeling of dread.
It's fine. So it looks like Brandon is keeping... Oh, I can't say Brandon. Brandon Gibbs keeping 7. Brandon Hart mulling to 6, but he is on the draw, so he can get some of that back.
Yeah, if it's somebody I know here, I don't even insult them by saying, oh man, bad luck whenever they have to mulligan. I will like visibly fist pump and say good. So it's probably one of my failings as a human being. Like poor Jonathan had to mull against me on game 3, and I couldn't even conceal the fact that I wasn't sorry.
Interesting comment in the chat talking about Pro Tour coverage and seeing that Terminus is not seeing a lot of play in the feature match area, which is surprising because Terminus is one of the best way of dealing with a lot of the cards that are currently seeing a lot of play, specifically Boros Reckoner.
Yeah, and Hellrider.
All the tokens. So is Brandon thinking about this one? It seems to be a close one. He is keeping it. Keeping it looks like War Falcon time. Boom. Nailed it. The best bird in Magic. #1 rated Falcon card in all of Magic. Now you play Thalia here, and you did, or Knight of
That Pro Red Falcon back in the days when when Dead Guy Red was first becoming really good, the Pro Red Falcon was pretty annoying. Forget what it was called, but I hated that thing. They put Imperial armor on it and ruined my day.
So, Stomping Ground off the top, plays it untapped so he can Farseek.
That's strong.
Puts him into Huntmaster mana next turn. Should he...
Is that an Inquisitor, or is that a Knight of Glory?
That's a Champion of the Parish.
Champion of the
So
Parish,
he is
okay.
playing Champions. So, what's it's called is very good right now, right? Silverblade Paladin?
Yeah.
Silverblade Paladin, attack for 6. Dead on board next turn. Nope. It's a second champion, pumping the first. Get the old dice brick out.
And in the chat, they're saying that a pro played planar cleansing in a feature match today.
Planar cleansing is very good.
I don't think I've ever seen it outside of EDH.
It's very good in the mirror, the control mirror.
That would explain why I don't know.
It's like a 1-of in a sideboard usually. So he gets in here, dropping Brandon to 12. Does Brandon not have his 4th land? I'm not entirely sure, but I think Brandon drew that. I mean, he drew that Stomping Ground, but I don't think he had another land other than that.
No, I think he killed that and then Farsaw it, and then
he's running very good to be in this very bad situation he's already in.
And this being a skill-intensive format, he will probably miracle Bonfire here short.
Miracle Bonfire will still...
It'll leave the champion, right?
Champion is only 2/2. Another Farseek? Now you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's gonna take from the champion 1, 2, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana on board. If he draws a Silverblade Paladin, that will be 6, 7, 8, 9 total. So I think land, champion, Silverblade Paladin might be enough. Yeah, I think land, another champion, and Silverblade Paladin will be exactly enough. Because you go 2, 3, it's 5. Double the double strike makes it 8, and then 10. Nope, that still won't be good enough. Oh no, +2, so it'd be 3, 4, another 4 is 11, and then 13. So land, champion, Silverblade will win here. That's very unlikely, but you can always hope. What is Brandon thinking about doing here with his 1 green mana? Didn't he play 2 lands this turn? No, he cast Farseek? Is that right?
I was not paying attention to that. I'm sorry.
He played 2 lands.
I was glancing at this about Del Toro's deck. Wolf Run Bant. How does that even work?
It's just a banned deck that splashes red source for Wolf Run. I'd be very curious to go back and watch this on camera.
And Joe Lewis in the chat says he Farseeked 2 times.
Yeah, but I was thinking on that turn.
2 Explorers.
So, Brandon's slightly stabilized here at 7. He's only facing down 3 power. And there is a Thundermaw, which is going to kill the War Falcon. To be fair, Brandon Gibbs' draw seems to be very awkward here, because he hasn't done anything after playing the two. All he's done is played 2 champions and War Falcon. I mean, he might just have a handful of angels and be stuck
Feeling
on
of Dread here would really not be good for Brandon Hart.
So he's not attacking in.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go kill myself.
So Silverblade Paladin will make that a 4. Is this Sky Knight here? No, Geist. Completely forgot this deck played Geist, because we've yet to see it. So now's about time for Miracle Bonfire, right?
Yeah, and he might be setting up next turn for Silverblade Paladin, unbonded, bond it to the Angel token.
course, you can cast a Bonfire the hard way here and still be just as good. Of course, he could have done that last turn as well. Here's a Biomancer or a Huntmaster. Master Biomancer. So 2/4 creature. All of Brandon's creatures now come into play with +1/+1 counters on them, equal to the Biomancer's power. So that's a 3/3 Arbor Elf. So Feeling of Dread's still good here, right? This is going to be a tough one for Gibbs. Brandon Hart being very fortunate to draw that land when he did. Otherwise, he'd be shut out of this game. Feeling of Dread. Flash it back to tap the other one. And that's exactly enough.
And boom goes the dynamite.
7 damage. Didn't even see it coming. Stuck with another Biomancer in hand. So on the back of Feeling of Dread, Brandon Gibbs moves to 4-1. Definitely on the top 8. Brandon Hart's going to have to sit and wait and see what sorts out of the other matches. There's a chance he could still make it too, but we'll just have to wait and see. We are off into our top 8, which will include Scott, who's sitting right in here.
I'll be going in as number 2.
You're playing mono red. Daniel Payne playing mono red. Gibbs is playing blue-white aggro. And then the other matches, I don't know who won.
How did Conley do with mono black?
Jonathan Wright won, so he has on 10 points. Conley Woods is playing. He wasn't playing a mono black deck. He was playing a mono swamp deck. He was playing a Mutilate deck. So he had like Jund colors, but he had all black.
Perhaps if he hadn't given Boros Reckoner 1 star, perhaps he would have been playing a better deck.
Burn. So 5 minutes left to go. We're now joined by Jonathan Wright. Jonathan, you won. You got in there with a 3-1-1?
1-1.
So you might max. So you might get in there.
Put a slip in there.
He'll be in.
You do have an extra seat, right, Zach?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
You think about going?
Max was convincing me.
Yeah, I'm leaving my house in the morning. I don't know exactly what time, but it's going to be somewhere between 5:30 and 6.
Okay, so if I drive over, what time would you be there?
Well, me and Matt will talk here shortly, and I will let you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely do have a
if
seat.
it's okay with you.
Yes, you're more than welcome to come. So now we're rolling 7 deep up into the Star City Games event. What are you going to play tomorrow? What you're playing today?
Yeah. I'm not going to play in the event.
You're just gonna
Hang around.
side events. The standard side events always run.
Mm-hmm.
The other side events never run, except for drafts. They draft nonstop.
Yeah, I
Legacy
would
side
love to
events.
go just to
Legacy.
draft.
They don't fire.
They don't?
No.
They did last time. I thought Vickers played in one.
No, they have that's called the Legacy Challenge.
Oh, that's right.
They have a Saturday event, which is a 4 rounds, like $10 events, and then you get, or $15 event, and you get packs based on your. It's a pack tournament, and you get prizes based on like record. There's no top 8 or anything. It's just 4 rounds. Just play it out.
But the draft's pretty much fire non-stop on the
Yeah,
Sunday after round
yeah.
2.
They start firing immediately because tons of people go to these events. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. So if you guys are thinking about going to, if there's a Star City stop in your area, or more importantly, if there's a Grand Prix coming through, especially if there's a Grand Prix, if it's within a reasonable drive, and you're like, well, I don't want to go because I don't want to play in like the super competitive environment. Like you're missing the huge opportunity because there's so much going on at these events. You can go. Tons of vendors are going to be there. You can buy, sell, trade. A lot of cards you couldn't find other places. Also, I mean, selling your cards to vendors at GPs is a huge thing. As someone who does a fair amount of like secondary market stuff, like that's how you cash out of most of your cards is to sell them to vendors at a good, reasonable price.
Would you say that Zach sells Magic?
Well, he did, and he has horrible branding now. That's what he does. I just let him do his thing. But yeah, so you've got side events as well. You've got winning boxes. You've got a lot of the Grand Prix will have like a TCG player point series qualifiers, Star City qualifiers. Star City is running the one in Charlotte, so I guarantee you there'll be a Star City qualifier there, as well as and they do a lot of casual things. They have 4-man commander pods. They have something they call Wacky Draft or Twisted Draft. No, Twisted Draft, where they just take a bunch of different packs from different sets, and just put them in a bag, and you just pick 3 at random. That's very fun.
So you get triple Fallen Empires draft going?
I think they're mostly recent sets.
Yeah, I'd say it has to be 15 card packs.
It's all packs that don't have like a value worth more than the, you know what I mean. So they're not putting like.
Mercadian masks.
Well, it's going to be like there's no future sight in there, I'm sure. Like nobody's going to win the Tarmogoyf lottery at the $10 draft, but tons of stuff there, and then all kinds of trading, casual gaming stuff like that. So, like we're talking about, Jonathan and myself probably heading up tomorrow. Matt will play in the event, but plenty of side events to do, plenty of sweet trades. I enjoy trading because I'm to the point in my collection now where there's only like maybe 7 cards I want. And no one here is going to have them. So I go to a big room like that, and you can occasionally find them. So that's fun for me. So if you're in the greater Cincinnati metro area, come down. I'll be there. Mr. George in the chat will be there. 6 other of us from the store will be there, having all kinds of good times. The offer usually stands. The first person to come up to me usually gets a playset of rock paper scissors cards. I did that to the gentleman in Columbus. Greg Hall, who's actually going to be in Cincinnati as well, came introduce himself. I said, hello, here's your cards. I also played EDH with some guy, and I let him keep my playset for fun. And he was like, wow, are you serious? I was like, yeah. Oh, man. They're awesome.
It's like a whole $1.50.
Well, they're not. I always tell people, like, they're not worth a ton, like, financially. But sentimentally, like, it's really cool. You're not going to find them. Like, you're not going to dig through the unglued box at your local store and, like, find them.
I used to have a Lucky Miser's cage.
Yeah, there's a card called Mize, which was a holiday card that I really want, because there's a pug on it. We have a pug dog, and my wife would like it, but it's actually very expensive because it's like a limited edition.
I also used to collect Joven's ferrets.
From Homelands?
Yes.
Nice. He also had saddlebags. Joven also had... Did he also have saddlebags?
Well, I was collecting for the ferrets, not for Joven.
Well, I don't know.
And repopulate.
Scott, I was trying to brag about how much I knew about Homelands, so... You can get Chandler. I want to get Chandler and have it. There's a card called Chandler. I don't want to have it signed by Matthew Perry.
Just use it as an EDH.
General,
yeah.
The worst general ever. I don't even know what he does. Something like it was an artifact or something.
Yeah, there's one of them I think that like regenerates or does something with a creature artifact. Then the other one does non-creature artifact, and they're both horrible.
Awesome.
Horrible. And Joven looks like a death metal.
Yeah, he looks like he looks like he should be the leader of a Swedish metal band.
Yeah, like a black metal band.
Because he's got the raccoon makeup on.
You got the corpse paint.
So we already know Brandon Gibbs is in. We know you, Scott, are in, and Daniel Payne is in. Jonathan is likely in at 10 points as well. Jonathan, do you know who won? Drew beat Brett Rose. Yes. Do you know who won between Tim and Alec Myers? I don't know.
Might still be playing.
I have never met Timothy before in my life, so I don't know. What about Cliff and Dr. Matt? Did you see that one? They still going? Wouldn't surprise me if they're still going.
Cliff was putting some work in on him. Some odds of that going on.
Yeah, Jonathan was paired up against me, so there's no way he's not in.
Okay. And then that seems to be it. So some combination of those guys will be in our top 8. So we're looking at, do you know what is old Clifford playing? Is he playing?
He's playing a junk.
He's playing junk.
Yeah. With like all the life gain, it seems like.
Yeah. Alec is playing Esper Spirits. Brett was playing Esper Tokens, but he lost. So Drew's on Jund.
He's playing Mono Red.
Brett's playing Mono Red?
Is he kidding me?
No, Brett's playing Mono Red.
Okay.
He did not have access to all of the Reckoners. I loaned him a Reckoner that I pulled from Price Packs.
I had one that I'm trading for a friend of mine, and he said he wants it, but not at the price it's at.
Yeah,
to which I pointed out that that's a fair assumption. That's a fair point, but they're not coming down anytime soon.
Yeah, Thragtusk's only a rare, and it's $25.
Yeah, and Thragtusk is only coming down because they said they're going to reprint it in an event deck. Right. They will not be printing...
Yeah, if I weren't letting Brett use that one, I would probably be listing it tonight. So, now, just because I've got my place.
Now comes the infamous question, Zach, what 7 cards are you wanting? Well, 7 isn't... But it's basically... I'm short 4 foil blue Zendikar fetch lands. So if you have those, feel free to come by and let me know. And then I'm constantly hoarding foil Zendikar full art lands as well. Those are the only cards I really look for. Like if I have a list, that's the only cards that are on there.
Is your cube where you want it?
Yeah. I mean, I add new stuff, and like if I find some cool foil or something, I'll add it in. But like, I don't play standard. Oh no, that's not true. A Glimpse of Nature for Legacy Elves. I've never had Legacy Elves, and Max is our resident Elves Pilot, and I always feel like I have all the other cards for it. I even have all the cards for the new one that plays Natural Order into Craterhoof Behemoth.
I just don't think I could play elves, man.
I just like comboing and casting Emrakul. That's not even the good one. I'll even trade for the foil Cup Island. I just don't like it.
Whose pen is that?
I don't know.
It's a nice pen.
Is it yours? You want it?
That's a terrible pen.
It's a $2 pen.
So Jonathan comes in so he can steal the pin.
Dude, somebody stole my pen earlier. I let them sign their sheet with it, and they took it.
I think he's giving away the 9th through 16th.
All right, so we're announcing prizes here. I'm going to step out and see who in fact is in this top 8 for you guys, and then we are coming back for our top 8. Once I figure out who's in it. Do I play Tron? Question about whether or not I play Tron. I barely play Modern at all, and I do not play Tron. But it's a perfectly fine deck. No problem with it. Just don't play that much Modern. So anyways, I'm going to take a quick step outside. We will be right back shortly. I'll find out what's going on with the top 8, and then we'll power into that next round.